Good afternoon and welcome to the June 2021 version of Senior Living Options in Charlotte. I'm your host today, Rob Wachter.
I'm Erica Wright.
And we are here to take you on a tour of a wonderful East Charlotte community today. And we are going to be here with Courtney Slavin from Visiting Angels, who is our co-host today, and she is the Sales and Marketing Director. And Michelle Curnow, who is the Sales and Marketing Director of Brookdale Charlotte East. So we encourage you to watch this today and enter comments or questions. If there's something that you'd like to know about this community or about our services or Visiting Angels, just put that comment down below. And if you're watching this on a recording, that's fine too. Just go ahead and add that comment and we will get that answer back to you with whatever information you'd like. So again, I'm Rob Wachter, and I'm with the Wachter Group at JPAR Carolina Living, and we are seniors real estate specialists. So the reason we're here today is because we specialize in working with people that are retiring and that are looking for different options for their living arrangements. So I want to start today with Courtney. And Courtney, could you tell us a little bit about Visiting Angels and the things that you do for people in our community?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here. Thanks for joining us virtually here today. Wanted to share a little bit about our services. We help people in their homes, in senior living communities. This is an independent living community here with a little bit of assisted living as well. And in the independent living, we can help people with care services. And we help people all over Charlotte with anything from bathing assistance, walking assistance, toileting assistance. We also help with meal prep, laundry. We do transportation services and companionship. So those are some of the tasks that our caregivers can help with to help people maintain their independence with a little bit of assistance. So we're fortunate to be able to meet many great people, and some need a lot of care and some need a little care and some need a little care for a little bit of time, and then the care will drop off. We're very flexible in our scheduling, so we can do 1 hour to 24 hours a day of care. We're one of the few companies in the area that offers 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours of care. Most companies require 4 hours at a time. So that's something special about Visiting Angels. Another great thing about Visiting Angels is we do work with the veterans. We are an approved care provider for the VA. What that means is if you are a veteran, you can go to your VA doctor here in the Charlotte area and see if you can get approved for some free care hours. I will speak with the social worker and we can get them set up. Sometimes those schedules range from 6 hours a week of free care all the way up to 20 hours a week. So happy to arrange that. We have a great relationship with the social workers at the VA, and proud to support our veterans.
Thank you, Courtney. And I know we've worked with Visiting Angels for a number of years now. We've referred several clients there for both short and long-term solutions, and I know they've been very, very happy. So we appreciate your continued support of our clients as well.
Oh, thanks, Rob.
Great. So now we'd like to talk and hear from Michelle. Michelle, you are the host today, and this is the community that you're the Sales and Marketing Director in. Could you tell us a little bit about Brookdale Charlotte East?
I sure can. So thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you doing this with us and for us, and for you at home, thank you so much for joining us. What can I tell you about Brookdale Charlotte East? I'll start with a little bit about Brookdale as a whole. So we are the largest senior living company in the country, and we have been in business for 40 years. So we definitely consider ourselves the experts in senior living, from retirement communities all the way through memory care and skilled nursing. Brookdale can really help any senior make their life better. Here at Brookdale Charlotte East, we are blessed and lucky to have independent living, which we will talk through today, and assisted living as well. But we really focus on making our residents have their best life. What can we help that's getting harder at home, even if it's they don't want to cut their grass anymore, they don't want to maintain their home anymore. That's when we call Rob and Erica. And they can move in here and have a maintenance-free lifestyle, almost like cruise ship living, but parked at the dock.
And I know we've worked with many clients that have moved into communities right here very recently. The one thing I can assure you, if you're considering a move like this is I have never had anybody call me 3 months later and say, gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. In fact, it is almost universally a phone call within the first 4 or 6 weeks saying, thank goodness I did that. I only wish I'd done it sooner. So for those of you thinking that I wonder when I should do it, the answer is probably now. So, Michelle, thanks for explaining that to us. And what we'd really hope to do with you today is for you to take us on a quick tour of the community and see what we've got here.
I'd be happy to.
Okay, great. We're going to take a walk through Brookdale, and we're going to hear all about its amenities and its features. And then at the end, we're going to sit and have questions and answers. So if you are watching and would like us to answer a question at the end, just go ahead and put it in the comments. We will be addressing that as we go along today.
Great.
Super. So let's get started.
All right.
I believe a model apartment is first on the list.
That is very true. So we are going to walk through and look at our one-bedroom model, and we'll talk about what the apartments include and some of the amenities and some of the things that make Brookdale Charlotte East a little different from some of the other independent living communities.
Okay, good. So you say bedroom apartment. How many different size apartments are there?
Question. So we have in independent living studios, one bedrooms, and we have 2 different floor plans for 2 bedrooms.
Okay, so this is kind of in the middle of the range.
Very much so.
Okay.
So, and then you come through into the living room and dining room space and to your as well. Most people use that to do things like store their holiday ornaments or, bins to change out their clothes for seasons. When you think of downsizing, that's something that families really get concerned about. What am I going to do with my special treasures? This apartment layout has a lot of space for that.
Excellent. I know I work with a lot of people that I actually try to use the word right sizing. I know that sounds a
Ooh,
little...
I like that.
It sounds a little cliche, but it really is, because a lot of folks that are retiring, they should have fewer things.
Yes.
They need to get in something that's the right size for them. But it doesn't mean that they're going to live in a box either.
That's true. I love that term. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, no, this is a gorgeous... the decor is modern. It's clean. It's really a little balcony space there.
Yes, every independent living apartment has either a balcony or a patio, so there's some outdoor space that's personalized and, for them. And they're able to hang bird feeders or potted plants, things like that. You'll notice that we do offer a full kitchen. That is something that some other communities do not have in their independent living. And that way people can still bake their favorite treasures. If they want to make themselves a snack or a meal, they can certainly do that. And we'll come into the bedroom. So this is a really good sized bedroom. We even have some residents with king size beds, but you can definitely fit all of your furniture for all of your needs. And you'll see that here's the balcony. Great outside access, great views. It adds a lot of extra light as well. And then you also have a full clothes closet and a full linen closet, which is pretty impressive. So there's plenty of room for bedding and storage and things like that. One of the things that I always tell people when we're talking about linens is if the residents have clean sheets available when housekeeping comes through, they'll even turn the beds for them.
Nice.
Which is nice because that's my least favorite chore.
Well, and frankly, as I'm sure Courtney can attest to, can be one of the more dangerous things for a senior citizen to do if they have some frailty to them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We hear a lot of low back issues, so a caregiver can come in and help with additional changing of sheets. I know Brookdale East offers that, but oftentimes the resident will just want another change, help with laundry, and we can do that. Something special about the Brookdale East community that we offer here is we can do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes of care. It doesn't have to be hourly care. So that's something special here for those residents. So if it's something like taking out the trash, those little check-ins are nice to have. And so that's a nice opportunity here is to have a little bit of a check-in, a little bit of help changing the bed linens, maybe taking some clothes out of the dryer, folding or ironing. We hear a lot of that as well.
Great. Thanks, Courtney.
One of the things I wanted to point out before we walk away from the bathroom is that in addition to the emergency pull cord, something that Brookdale Charlotte East offers that no one else does is a wellness check-in. So there's a button on top of the pull cord that our residents push every morning once they're up and about. It communicates directly with our concierge to let them know that they're awake and moving around. If we don't hear from them by mid-morning, we'll call and check in. If they don't answer, we'll come up and check on them. So families really have peace of mind that their loved one is, someone has eyes on them or has spoken to them every single day.
Yet they don't have to have someone intrude if they don't want to.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. They get to keep their independence, but we know that they're safe
What a great balance.
and happy. So that is our 1-bedroom layout.
Now, do you have availability of various size apartments right now?
So the studios are very hard to come by, but we do have one of
There you go. Now, you mentioned that this is a
completely gated. We sit on 12 gated acres, and we'll get to see some of the walking paths, but it's a really good opportunity for people to get outside in a safe environment and know that their loved ones and their cars and all of their stuff are behind our gates.
No, absolutely, and that makes a lot of sense. So,
Are you coming off? No, I'm going down. You're going down? Okay, we'll take the next one.
okay.
Log jam at the elevator.
The beauty of live video shows. So,
How many floors is the community?
So in independent living, we have 4 floors. There's 139 apartments. Yep. And each floor has its own independent living room. So you'll find after hours, especially when the programming that's on the calendar is done, you'll find residents playing bridge, you'll find them doing puzzles, kind of hanging out together in their own little groups, which is nice.
I know that you had mentioned when one of our meetings that you have ambassadors here, and I thought that was a wonderful program. Can you share a little bit more about the ambassador program?
Sure can. So we have a very robust resident council, and we also have the ambassador program. So really what the ambassadors are tasked with doing is welcoming our new residents. Each floor has an ambassador, so if you move into the 3rd floor, the 3rd floor ambassador is going to welcome you, make sure that you know where the dining room is, that you know what time dinner is, invite you to come to some of the programs so that they can really help you acclimate to the community and learn
that must
your way
really
around.
make the transition easier.
It's a lot of fun, and they make really quick relationships and good friendships. So before we head outside, just a quick note, this is kind of our information hub. So we have the regular U.S. Postal Service mail, we have internal mail for all of our communications, and then this is also where any resident can come to find information about what's going on in the community for the week and the month.
Excellent. Great.
All right.
I believe we have some amenities down the hall.
Want to go this way first? All righty. So we've got our beauty salon here on the left.
Oh, excellent.
So our beauticians work on a appointment-only basis. And so you can make an appointment, come in, get your hair done. They do manicures and pedicures, full cut and color services. They're pretty amazing.
Well, I'm sure that keeps things clean and safe, too.
Throughout, I know COVID's not over, but through even the height of COVID, the beauticians only took our residents on a case, on an appointment-only basis, and they only work with our residents. They don't work at a salon out in the neighborhood. So we knew that as soon as we were able to bring them back in, they could safely take care of our residents and make them feel pretty again.
Oh, that's terrific.
Okay. All right. And we'll head down this way. Get to take a peek at our wellness gym. Brookdale offers Brookdale site.
Back and leave and come back.
Well, and when an older person is recovering from an injury or recovering from an illness and they're weak and tired, just getting in and out of the car and driving to another location to do that therapy can be really draining. So the fact that we can do it right here really is a benefit to their wellness and recovery. No, you're fine. I just wanted to let them come in and take a peek.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like you got some,
So there's usually some sort of activity. Today we have some live entertainment.
live entertainment.
Every
is
day.
that common?
Every day. We have live entertainment just about every day. Everything from gospel partners to live bands. They do get a little funny about us talking over their music, though. So.
Well, we'll stop here and just know that there's some recreation activities over there as
Yes.
well, I believe.
Perfect.
And
go this way.
a lot of things to keep the residents having fun.
So we're really lucky here because we have a robust programming department. So there's over 200 programs a month for the residents to choose from to engage in. And that's just what activities does, not including what the residents do on their own. They run their own Bible studies, they run their own bridge games. So even when people were talking about how isolating the pandemic was, our residents were able to stay engaged. We had to tweak some things. We had to tweak size of programs and spacing and all of that stuff like everybody else did. But we were able to keep them engaged and happy, which ultimately helps with their wellness.
If they need assistance getting to an activity, our caregivers can definitely help with that. Sometimes even just a reminder or walking assistance down to the activity. As you said, Michelle, the engagement is key, and a lot of times that's what people move into a community for, is that engagement in the meals. So if they need a little support getting down after, having some weakness from a surgery or something like that, we can help out.
Wonderful. As we make our way out to the courtyard, I will talk a little bit about our dining services program. So we can't really peek in the dining room right now because that's where all the residents are getting ready for dinner and with all the entertainment. But our dining services program is something special. So we have Natasha, she's our dining services director, and our lead chef, Raymar, and they are both Johnson & Wales trained executive chefs. And Diane, my executive director, is here. She's our operational director, but she spent 24 years in top tier senior living dining experience. So even for her, their meals and their food, that's the experience that we want to make sure that they get.
And that's one of the most important things I think a lot of people are looking for in a community is the food going to be good?
Well, I mean, it's what brings you joy, right?
Absolutely.
And in a lot of cultures and in a lot of families, you show love through food. And that's where people get their sense of comfort and their joy from.
Have you had the opportunity to attend a Chef Wars event yet? You probably haven't. 'Cause
I
think
have
you're new to
not.
the area.
No.
They're fabulous.
Right.
Yes.
I know Courtney's been there, and I know the Wachter Group has been a perennial sponsor of Chef Wars, and I know Brookdale is a very common participant. And for those of you that don't know what Chef Wars that I'm talking about is, the retirement communities in the city of Charlotte get together, and they will put on the best of their best meals in small little, single-serve tastes. And there will be about 300 people. Usually they sell tickets at the Shepherd Center in Charlotte. Now, this is pre-COVID. They've been doing it virtually, which I love the Shepherd Center. It's not quite the same. But when we get back there, then you get to taste all the food, and they'll vote on best appetizer, best entree, best dessert. And I believe Brookdale's a perennial top-tier producer
Where do I
there.
get a ticket?
We'll make sure that when that comes around. So as we're walking out to the courtyard, I see some games here. So it seems like everywhere we look, there's a place for people to sit and talk or play a game.
We have great common spaces. So this is an area where usually it's the gentlemen that'll come in here and do puzzles and hang out. And the ladies, some of them come in here at lunchtime. So even when our dining room's open, which it is now for everyone to use, they would go and grab their food and come over here. They kind of kibitz together. Now it's open for business again, at full capacity, so they're able to go into the dining room and sit together, but they're still able to socialize and hang out in here.
I know during
There's a
Christmas
button.
this room was decorated beautifully with Christmas trees, and Brookdale East does a
And beyond to make sure that everything looks and feels really festive is our secret garden. This is something you wouldn't expect 7 miles from uptown, and it is the most amazing space you can find. We are a state certified bird sanctuary.
And tell me what that means.
Basically, it just means that it's a place that we maintain so that the birds have a safe place to be. So as we walk around, you'll see the bird houses. The residents keep bird feeders. Our staff makes sure that the houses are clean and well cared for so that the birds have a safe place to be.
And I see some butterfly bushes.
Aren't they pretty? So this is all part of our 12 gated acres. So these walking paths go all the way around the community. And it's a pet-friendly community, so this is a place where people will come out and walk their dogs. We have pet restrictions. A lot of places will put a size restriction on, which is a way to say they have a breed restriction. We have one extremely large yellow lab, sweetest dog in the world, all the way down to our mascot, who is a very, very tiny Chihuahua named Romeo. He loves everybody in the community. But at this
full day.
So we also have residents who are on the younger side. They're more active, and they want something to really help keep them busy, and they love to garden. So we have residents who have helped us build and maintain our gardens. We have residents, one in particular that I can think of, who really likes to build things. So he has used pallets to make us the stand-up planters. We have some residents who can't get down in the dirt, so they're able to use the elevated planters and still be able to garden, which is nice.
Really reinforcing the sense of independence that they can have in a community like this.
Without a doubt. And, maybe they don't want to mow and garden on their 3 acres, but they can come and still get their hands in the dirt and feel like they've got a really nice outside space to spend time and find some peace.
Do you ever have grill out picnics out here in this patio space?
All the time. So we'll do everything from picnics and the grill. We had a great big Memorial Day barbecue. We also do s'mores. We have a fire pit, so the residents love to come out and do s'mores.
Who wouldn't love s'mores?
I definitely love s'mores. So this is really the residents' space. We work where they live. So if they want their families to come, if they want guests to come, they want to celebrate a birthday, they can come out here and use this space at their leisure.
So I see the patio locations may be even very attractive because I see patio furniture and people having some space to sit out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really can make it their own. And of course, we want to make sure that it's safe. So we want to make sure that there's room for them to maneuver around on them. But they can do their own planters. They can do their own bird feeders, their own furniture. It's their space. It's their home.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking us on this tour today.
Well, you're so welcome. I'm so glad you guys were able to come.
Thanks. I think what we're going to do now is take a few minutes and we're going to sit down and kind of close out for the day. And we're going to see if any of you have had any questions. Hopefully you've been submitting them in the comments. If you are watching this on a recording, again, just go ahead and submit that question and we'll get you that answer. But we're going to take a minute now and just see what our viewers have come up with at this point. And Erica's going to come and help us. So, Erica, do we have any questions?
Just a second and I'll check and see. Courtney, how much do your services cost?
So we have a tiered pricing structure. It depends on how many days a week and how often or how long the visit is. So it could be 1 to 3 days or 4 to 7 days. If it's 1 hour versus 4 hours, it is a different price. But just to give you an idea, if you were doing 4 hours of care for 4 days a week, it's $25 an hour. The rate will vary a little bit if you do less hours or less days. But that gives you an idea. It's $25 an hour. We are private pay, so we are not covered by Medicare. However, we do work with long-term care insurance, and as I mentioned before, we also help the veterans.
Thank you.
And Courtney, can you do just transportation to the store, to a doctor appointment, and not other care?
Absolutely. So we get this question a lot. Can we just get transportation services? So you can call and schedule an appointment to go to Target. You can go to a doctor's appointment and just arrange for that with a caregiver to take you to your destination. Caregiver can stay in her car or stay with the client and then get them back safely to their apartment. So transportation is $32 an hour plus a 55 cents a mile mileage fee, and we just request that you ask about 2 days in advance to schedule it. So we're not necessarily like a Uber or a Lyft where you just call 5 minutes before or get on your phone and schedule that. So you would call our office and schedule that a couple days in advance, but we're happy to do that, and we feel that it's a safe way for seniors to be transported to doctor's appointment in their shopping visits. If it doesn't coincide with a shuttle visit, that's a great outlet for them to just schedule it on their own.
Great.
Michelle, this question's for you.
Okay.
What is the pricing at Brookdale Charlotte East?
So we have a range of pricing. It really depends on which apartment style you choose and what floor you're on. So the closer you are to the ground floor, the price goes up a little bit. But on average, we see the starting price for our studio is right around $23.45. all the way up to our largest 2-bedroom, which is right around $3,000. And we do have a one-time community fee of $2,400.
And we have another question for Miss Courtney. How do you get set up with the care?
So you would just call our office. We have a local office here. We're owned by a nurse. We're located right here in South Charlotte on Monroe Road, Sardis Road North area. And our office number is 704-841-1160. What we would do is arrange for a free nurse assessment prior to care. We have to do this whether it's vacuuming services, transportation, or care. It's a quick little meet and greet with our nurse to go over what the needs are. And then we can arrange for the schedule.
Great. Do we have more?
We do. Michelle, what happens when a resident can no longer live independently?
That's a great question, and that's a great benefit to our community here at Brookdale Charlotte East. So because we also offer assisted living, when we notice that maybe Courtney comes to us and says, you know what, Michelle, we've been doing 3 or 4 hours a day with this resident and it just doesn't seem to be quite enough, or we notice that there's a decline and we can't bridge that gap anymore, we have a nurse on staff who's our wellness director in assisted living. She can do an assessment. We talk with the family and make sure that it's a really smooth transition right over into our assisted living.
And that is all the questions that we have right now.
Great.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw one more at, because I know we got to talk some real estate here, because we're seniors real estate specialists. I know we are often looking to move into communities, especially even yours. And I know one of the fears people have, how do I afford to do that if I sell my house? You know, when do I move? How do I do this? I don't have a lot of money sitting around. Mm-hmm. So we at the Wachter Group are one of the relatively few real estate firms in the area that are certified with Elder Life Financial as a preferred real estate partner. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because what that means is Elder Life is a company that provides temporary bridge financing. Mm-hmm. So if you choose to make a move into a community, whether it's independent living or whether it's beyond that in care, you can go ahead and do that within 48 hours and have that bridge financing pay for that while the house is being prepared for sale. In fact, they even offer to loan money in order to fix up the house and get it ready, whether that be new paint, new carpet, things like that, so that you can get the most out of the sale of that house. Have you worked with Elder Life before? I think you have a relationship with them,
We do.
right?
We have a really strong relationship with them, and they definitely do the bridge loans with real estate. They also do offer bridge loans for people who are waiting on aid and attendance, the veterans benefit for when somebody moves into senior living. So we do work with them on a regular basis. My favorite thing about Elder Life Financial is that they communicate within 5 minutes. If you have a client that you refer to them and they're coming to Brookdale, not only will they let you know how it's going and whether or not they were approved, but they let us know right away so that we can really get started on the process of them moving in here.
I know that's really helped a number of our clients just make that safe decision, mm-hmm. because sometimes the delay can actually cause health or safety issues. Mm-hmm. And more than anything, what we want to help is protect our clients and have them be safe.
Absolutely.
So, okay, great. We'll do one last quick check to see if anything has come up, but we don't have any additional questions at this time. So we're going to thank you, the audience, for being with us today for this June 2021 edition of Senior Living Options in Charlotte. And again, I'm Rob Wachter with the Wachter Group, and this is Erica Wright, who's been helping me. And we've been here today with Courtney Slavin from Visiting Angels and Michelle Curnow, the host here.